Sunday. Oh, have you missed me? Well, we've been on the road and today we are back live in the studio. If you are not watching or if you're watching, you want to tell your friends, share Omega TV UK to everyone on your contacts. Let them join and let's have a wonderful conversation with an amazing woman who has gone through hell and back. You know, there's so many stories out there, whether man, whether woman, you know, of abuse, mental health, but some get up, they get back on their feet and thrive. And this afternoon, we have one person who has done that, and she's going to share her story with us. Welcome, Evangelist Naomi Praise. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much.
Happy Sunday.
Thank you. Happy Sunday to you.
You know, you're looking amazing. I was going to speak French, but then I was trying to construct my French sentence. I know, ça va?
Oui, ça va très bien, merci.
Vous allez, well, and then we say to a belle, you're looking beautiful. How do you say?
Merci beaucoup. Tu es très belle.
Oh, très belle. Okay, I still remember my French. How many of us made it to the French classes? You know, when we were in school,
Yeah.
when the French master is coming, everybody ran off. But today I regret. So please, you know, if your parents are telling you to study French or some language, don't shy away from it because one day you need it.
Yeah.
So tell me, where in the world you come from that you speak French?
Okay, I am originally from the DRC, Congo, Kinshasa.
Okay. Diamonds.
Yes, we are there. That's all about us, the diamond, the coltan and stuff. That's us. That's where I'm from in the part of the world, and that's Central Africa.
Yeah, and before we dive into our conversation, I know DRC have been in war for a long time. Is it peaceful now, or are they still in war?
They are very much still in war. There's no peace at all. There's actually a silent genocide that is going on in the Congo currently. In the eastern of Congo, especially like the Kivu side of the Congo, the women are being raped, children are being killed, you know, and being used to do mining and stuff like that instead of allowing them to go to school. And Rwanda is really trying to invade that eastern part of the Congo so that they can continue to be stealing and controlling our country. So that's what's been happening. But our president, Felix Tshisekedi, is doing his very best that I can see to really change things around. So I'm very proud of him for that. But we still need a lot of work doing in the Congo. There's too much war going on.
Wow. We pray that with all that is going on in our world today, we pray that, you know, peace come and, you know, these children can go to school. And talking about that, you grew up there or you grew up here in the UK?
I was born in the Congo, but I grew up here. So all my life I've done it here in the UK.
Oh, fantastic. And you, Jenny, thank you for coming all the way from Luton and joining us
You're
here
welcome.
in the studio. Today we want to dive into the woman that you have become, because there are so many women who are out there and going through a lot. I mean, there's stories upon stories upon stories, and your story is so unique. But look at the beautiful woman that you have turned out to be. You know, if people will hear and people will think, once upon a time, this lady was almost starved to death. This lady was bitten, was abused by your stepmother. Let's dive into it. If your stepmother, shout out to you. We pray that you don't do that to your stepchildren. But hey, so tell me, growing up at home, like how it was like.
Thank you for that question, Pastor Nana. Growing up at home, it was very hard. I would say it was a period where every child wants to enjoy their childhood, but for me it wasn't like that. It was very difficult, and I don't care what anybody wants to say at the moment when they hear this, but this is my story and I'm sharing my testimony according to my personal experiences and what I have seen. So childhood was very difficult, was very painful. Coming into the UK, I was staying in my guardian's house and stuff. So I think I was around 5, if I could vividly remember. And during those times, I was a child, but I was seeing. Pastor Nana, I was a child then, but I was seeing. My eyes were seeing what was going on and how they were literally treating us. So we became children who were so sad even in school. So at home, it was a thing where even if you do something right, they won't appreciate you. So we were living in a shelter, but we were not free. We weren't feeling like we were, safe. We were in a shelter, but we are not safe, because normally when somebody's in a shelter, has a shelter, they feel safe, right? But then in our case, we weren't feeling safe at all.
When you say we, I know you're a twin. So was it just you and your twin sister, brother?
It was me and my twin sister, so she's a female as well. So the both of us were going through the same thing, but I was getting it the most.
Were you the naughtiest? That was why you were getting it the most? Or, sometimes people get punished because they're like, okay, they're the one who is the rebel. Were you a rebel, or you were just that quiet, shy girl and you were still, going through that?
I wasn't the quiet, shy girl, because between me and my twin sister, I am the loudest one and she's the quiet one. But they used to pick on me a lot because I was the one that was speaking things out, like snitching, I would call it. I was the one that was snitching. I was the one that was talky a lot. So, but we were both getting the same treatment. So growing up, we thought we could have that motherly love, but we never experienced it. For me, I would talk for myself. Like, I never experienced that motherly love because I wasn't able to share my pains with the women that we were living with in the house. We were getting beaten up at a young age like that. Yes, we are kids. And at the time, we were kids. So kids are not perfect. We do wrong things. We make mistakes and we do get punished here and there. But with us, it was no longer punishment. It was no longer discipline. I do understand that our African parents, disciplined us in a way that it was just unfair, but our own
African parents. Shout out to African parents.
Shout out to you, mamas
and dadas. Yes.
So that is understandable, but our own level of punishment was really severe. I wouldn't call it punishment anymore because we weren't learning anything from what she was doing to us. And I don't want to call out any names, but it was a point where we was doing chores that she should be doing, the adult in the house should be doing. We were doing those chores.
Chores like what?
Washing dishes.
Come on now,
we were very young.
How old was this?
We were like 6, 7 and stuff like that, but it wasn't like once in a while thing. It was an everyday thing, you know. And she would hit us.
Wow.
That's the point where it gets to like, okay, if you're teaching us how to wash dishes, at least be nice about it. But she was just maltreating us, insulting us, calling us names. Even if we didn't do anything, she would just find something to belittle us. Why? Because she didn't like any of her husband's family members to stay in the same house as her.
Right. And where was the father? Where was daddy at that time?
He was there. I would say that was my uncle. He was there. He was seeing everything. And even if we was reporting it to him, he didn't really do anything. He just thought, oh, okay, it is his wife just trying to punish the kids and stuff. But it wasn't like that, because it came to a point where she was using objects like wooden spoon that we cook for full. She would use it to beat us under our toes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yes, I bet we, African parents, shout out to us. and sometimes, yes, we want to teach the kids some senses, and back home we all got the beating, but here I know that if you smack, the next thing is social services is coming to knock at your door.
Yeah.
When you went to school, did all these affect your studies, that in school you could not concentrate on your education?
Of course, but at the time I didn't even know that it affected me like that. I didn't know anything about mental health. I didn't even know that it ever existed. But I was going through it. There's so many people who are going through mental health, even young people, they're going through it, but they don't actually know that they're going through it. So that was my case. She would even use a knife, to beat us and stuff. It was really bad. It was really bad. Even if we begged her, she wouldn't listen. She would just maltreat us for no reason. We didn't understand why she was treating us like that. And then in school, it was affecting the way that we were studying and even communicating with people. It came to a point that we started getting bullied in school as well. So we were being bullied at home and also being bullied in school.
And how did they affect you in yes, the mental health, but as I said earlier on, and I asked, how did it affect your studies?
Okay, thank you so much for that. I wasn't doing so well with my maths. I wasn't doing well with most of my courses in class. My teachers were so concerned. They were even seeing bruises in my face, bruises in my body. They were wondering what was going on, and I was scared to speak up and tell them anything, because at home they said to us, anything that goes inside the house doesn't come out. If it comes out here, you're in trouble. You get even worse than
double beatings.
Double beating. So we had to keep quiet about it, but it came to a point that our friends in school, were noticing everything that we were going through. So because I was the most, chatty one and a bit open one, and I started to explain it to my friends that were welcoming me, because when I started school, I didn't know English. I didn't know English at all. So I was learning the English, and people were mocking me, laughing at me because I didn't know English. I wasn't accepted in school by friends because of language barrier. But I did force myself to learn and stuff. But I was still getting bullied. It was really hard. Nobody wanted to be my friend. Nobody wanted to be around me and stuff. It was really hard.
And so what changed?
Okay, everything changed because I met one friend in the school that was able to help me. She was really nice. I was telling her my issues and stuff. She was also allowing us to go to her house. At the time after school, we would rush to her house and play around. She would help us with homework as well. And then I got into the hang of everything. My English grew, and I was learning and stuff, but still I was in pain. I was forcing myself to go to school and learn. That was in primary school. I am literally talking about how this whole thing, the physical abuse, affected me in primary school. So I wasn't doing too well with my grades, and I became very aggressive. Yeah, so any little thing that someone did to me in school, I would get angry, and then it would turn into like a fight and stuff.
So you now became you became so you were now bullying other kids?
No.
Or you were fighting other kids because of what was going on within you? Because sometimes kids, it's what happens to kids at home that they bring to school and bring outside, and sometimes we think, oh, why is this child or this boy, this girl behaving this way? But then we forget that they're coming from a home, and a toxic home, and that stems from home. So when you see these kids on the streets and they misbehaving, sometimes we've got to really take time and find out why they're behaving that way. So who was the person that really helped you to come out of this, go to secondary school and all that?
Nobody.
So how did you progress?
I just progressed. Like we got used to the whole situation, and we started to pretend like nothing was happening. We were not talking about it anymore. We'll get beats, and it was just like a normal thing now. We thought, okay, it is fine for you to be beaten all the time. If you look at my back, there's marks of beats, scars.
Wow.
So we just got used to it, because I was tired of explaining to their friends, you know, look, this is what, you know, mom and dad, this is what they're doing to us and stuff like that. And each time they tried to speak to them to treat us well, because they were telling them, look, you both need to treat these kids very well, because if you don't treat them well, if you don't stop how you're maltreating them, it's going to turn against you in the future. And they didn't listen. So I literally just thought I was just wasting my time, because nothing was changing. So we just carried on with the life, you know, just carried on with it and just lived on with it like as if it was normal.
And how are you now?
I'm fine.
You're fine.
Perfect.
I mean,
Free.
very fine.
Very fine, free.
And how are they? They're still here. They're still alive.
They're still alive. They're still here. They are watching me growing. They're watching me doing what I'm doing now, doing ministry, and they are in shock.
Wow.
They can't approach me.
So, I mean, this is somebody who's gone through so much, and we can't show the scars, because then it means we have to show the world everything. But the people that sometimes, you know, abusers or mistreaters, you know, sometimes they don't know what blessing is upon your life. And if you're out there and you're watching, you might be thinking, oh yeah, right. But then you are maltreating your son, maltreating your daughter, doing something to your wife, doing something to your husband. Maybe today is a message for people to change and be kind and love people, because we live in a world that you never know what's coming for you. So you were able to finish school now. Evangelist Naomi she's a mental health advocate, she's an author, she's a wife, she's a mother, and this is somebody who went through trauma that you think, you know, it's over. So it's not over for you. It's so not over for you. So you went to secondary school, and
yes.
What did you pursue there?
So after secondary school, I just want to clarify something that happened in the primary school and those periods of abuse and stuff. So in school, the teachers realized that something was wrong with us because we weren't talking. So they now associated the social services. But then they tried to call in the parents to come in and discuss, and they lied. And they said, no, everything's fine. And they said to us, if you both try to say anything, you will see. Make sure you tell them everything's fine. Don't even give them any head, nothing.
Wow.
And we were just like, okay. You know, we were scared because we were living with a controlling and manipulative and very toxic people in the house. So we weren't allowed to say anything. So then they tried all they did to us. The social services was trying to take us, and they refused. But then later on, I didn't get a help from any professionals, from anybody. So I just learned to pick up myself and to move on. Going into secondary school, it was still hard. I was still getting bullied very much. In secondary school, the bullying was even very worse. It was very bad.
Wow.
The bullying was very bad. I struggled to settle. Because I was being bullied by the Caribbean people, especially the Jamaican people. I was getting bullied by them.
Why?
Just for the mere fact that I was African, just for the mere fact that I was from the Congo. So they were bullying me because I was from Africa. They would insult us, oh, African people, look at them like monkeys and stuff. They're dirty and stuff. And
Lord,
it was so bad. It was so bad. I actually had to go in depth about my bullying story in my first book, which I don't have here, but it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
But I was getting bullied for those reasons. I was getting bullied also because we weren't looking good in school. We weren't dressing well. Our clothes wasn't clean. our hygiene wasn't good, because we were going into school, you know, we would expect the adult to, you know, check us out and stuff and ensure that our hygiene is good and stuff. That wasn't happening. So we started getting bullied. We would wear the same school outfit. Do you know, every year, you know, you change school uniforms and stuff. It wasn't that case for us all the time. It wasn't. We would wear the same school jumper that we wore last year. We would wear the same socks that we wore last year. We would wear the same shirt that we wore last year. So she wasn't spending on us, and she was using our benefits, you know, for her own gain. And we were the ones suffering. We were the one going through it. We weren't getting any pocket monies and stuff. And it led us to start stealing.
Wow. So you were stealing.
Yeah.
And got caught at one point.
Yeah.
And as I said, if this is your mom or stepmother, or you know, your hygiene. So I come back to say, you know, let's check our girls, let's check our boys. The hygiene. We've heard Naomi's story, and sometimes you can pick it up. This is an educational conversation, you know, an eye-opening for us to see the kids around us, to see whether you're a teacher, you're social, whoever you are. And we see this in the news all the time, that kids are being bullied, and sometimes even to the extent that, you know, they get killed and nobody picks it up. So maybe this conversation will save somebody, will save a child, will save a girl, will save a boy. You never know. So let's keep our eyes open. But you were able to go past that. How were you? I want you to tell us how you were able to go past this.
Okay, I was able to go past all of those things because I discovered my relationship with God. At the time, we were attending a Pentecostal church. So I first of all started with a Catholic church growing up as a child, and then moved on to a French Connection Pentecostal church. That's where I now joined a choir. That's where I discovered that I can sing. I think I was around the age of 11, 10, those ages, like 9, I started singing in the choir. So then knowing Christ helped me to navigate how I dealt with people in school as well. So what I started to do was to try to communicate with my bullies. I tried to communicate with them. I was like asking them if they, if I did anything wrong to them, you know, and then they started to tell me why they treat me the way they do, and they said they just don't like me because you're just weird, you're just different and stuff. And I'm like, what can I do to change that? So they started to invite me in their little crew and stuff like that, and then they now started to love me in the way that I was, you know, showing myself to them, talking to them, and trying to not really do what they're telling me to do, because bullies, they like their bullies to do what they want them to do. Otherwise, things are just going to not work out. So I was trying to, you know, just trying to help them do their homework and stuff like that, trying to be kind and stuff. We were even selling our sweets and stuff. Like I told you, we were stealing just so that we can eat chicken and chips, £2 chicken and chips, or have snacks at lunchtime in secondary school. So selling those sweets, me and my twin sister saved us as well.
Steal the sweets and sell it.
And sell it in school.
To eat lunch.
To eat at break time and even after school.
Wow. Just
for us to get like £2.50 chicken and chips.
I like the way you said £2.50
chicken
£2.
and chips.
£2 chicken and chips.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then the way I navigated it, it was hard, but then I had to show more love that I didn't get even the time that I was getting bullied. So it was a time where I was trying my best to be nice, but things was just not working. It's like the more I am nice to them, the more they were being horrible to me. They started fighting me, so what I had to do was to defend myself. It was a fight, one last fight that I had in Bruce Grove Road near the McDonald's in Tottenham. These two ladies, they were a year above me, and they were start insulting us for no reason just after school. And they start calling us names. So we got angry and we said to them, can you leave us alone? And they didn't listen. One slapped me, and then after I took over, I pushed one by the side, roadside. The car nearly hit the girl. And there were so many people packed. And this whole situation led into like the police and stuff, but we weren't in trouble. Instead, they were in trouble. And I said to myself, never again am I going to fight anybody, even if they bully me, because they even started to call me man beast because I was just fighting anyone that was fighting me.
So everything that was happening at home was making you become this girl, this young adult, aggressive,
and so defensive, and I was taking everything personal because I just wanted to voice out. I just wanted someone to hear me, to listen to me. Like, hello, I'm suffering. Hello, can somebody understand me and stuff? Because at home, no one was listening to us. We didn't have a voice. We weren't allowed to speak. We were silenced.
So who eventually heard you after going to church? Were you able to talk to somebody in church about what was going on at home?
I was able to speak to my pastor at the time, and I was able to speak to my mentor that I had in secondary school.
You need a tissue?
Yeah.
Can I get a tissue, please? And so, are you okay?
It's just the past, you know, the things that one can go through can be so overwhelming. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Maybe we go for a break. We go for a break and we come back. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
My name is Kofi Adoku. I'm a principal solicitor at Adoku Solicitors. I am also a duty solicitor. Anytime a person is arrested and taken to a police station, or if the police invite you to the police station for a voluntary interview, you have a right to free independent legal advice. Adoku Solicitors is authorized to provide free independent legal advice at police stations in England and Wales. So anytime you're taken to the police station, remember to say that your solicitors are Adoku Solicitors.
Are you in the UK and in need of immigration help? Do you require expert legal representation to regularise your stay or renew your existing leave to remain? Do you require advice or representation regarding a personal injury or criminal matter? If the answer is yes, then you do not need to look any further. Adoku Solicitors is here to provide you with all the expert legal advice and representation you require.
Be it immigration, criminal law, appeal against conviction or appeal against sentence, family law, personal injury, civil litigation, employment law or housing law. Adoku Solicitors is your trusted one-stop legal services provider with expert solicitors and caseworkers on standby to assist. Our police station emergency number is 07792 459 339. You can also call Adoku Solicitors on 0207 183 1479. You can locate Adoku Solicitors at 662 Old Kent Road, London, SE15 1JF.
Well, we're back. If you're following our story, we're having a conversation with Evangelist Naomi Praise. And how do you pronounce your surname? Kabesele. You know, and sharing her story of, I would say, from grass to grace, or from hell to heaven. You know, there are so many people out there who have wounds that are in there. that cannot speak up because of what they've been through. And the saddest thing is that sometimes is the loved ones, the people who are supposed to love us, they are the ones who hurt us. And it takes the good Lord, it takes people like Evangelist Praise to voice out. It takes people to sit down and say, I'm going to share the story so that will save somebody. So if you're watching today, we have to go for a break because it's a deep conversation, and sometimes we have to have this conversation so that people will heal. If you're one of them, I pray that you're healing, and as we continue conversation, you will also share and get your friends and your loved ones to tune into Omega TV UK. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you.
With all the beautiful tears, she's smiling. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you were able to speak to somebody about it?
Yes, I was able to speak to my mentor. His name is Damas. Mr. Damas. He really helped me during my whole journey in secondary school. He was advising me, and because he was like a father figure to me in the school, so he was really helping me to overcome all those things. So I was able to confidently say that I was okay in secondary school from year 10 going to year 11 and then to college, and then things even got worse
again.
Yes. My life was literally a school, a home, church, school, home, but it was difficult. So I grew up as a church girl, and it came to, how do I start saying this?
Just breathe, have a drink, a nice cocktail for you. Yeah.
Thank you. So during our preparation for GCSE, my twin sister got illegally deported from the Congo. So they planned some evil act. They lied to us that we had to go on a holiday to Germany, but it was all lies. We went to Gatwick Airport. At the time, I didn't even know the name of the airport and stuff. So I was very naive, didn't know anything, didn't know how to call the police, didn't know how to contact anybody. I was stuck in one place, no one to call. It was basically like they put boxes and put us in one inside of that box. No one can hear us, nothing.
Wow.
So then they now said, the passports, like all of our passports wasn't working. They needed to do something about it, so we had to return. But the only two passports that was okay was my twin sisters and my uncle's. So that time I didn't know nothing about passports. I was only a child. So she got deported. I never got to say bye to my twin sister. And when we got home, I asked if everything was okay. And then she said, yeah, everything's fine, but I just need to let you know that your dad has deported your twin sister. I was like, what do you mean deport? Yeah, she's gone back to Congo. Oh my goodness. Pastor Nana, where I was, I felt like my heart was ripped into two pieces. It's like, I felt like they've taken a part of me off. Something has been missing. So I was asking her, how would you let something like this happen? And she said, shut up, you have no right to question me and stuff like that. And I was like, but it's your husband, you should know what he's up to and stuff. And she didn't want to answer me. Very controlling, very manipulative. So it was that, and ever since that day my attitude even changed in the house. I wasn't eating. I wasn't communicating with them like I was before. You know, even when they were beating us and stuff, I had a little bit of respect for them. But ever since that time, I lost my respect for them as adults. And then I tried to help her, send her money, send her food, because it took me years to even find out if she was alive or not. It took me many years. So I was trying to send money to her, you know, clothes and from someone there, and they found out that I was doing this, so I had to stop because they didn't want me to speak to her either. Didn't want me to have any contact with her. So back home where she wasn't studying, she wasn't eating well. They weren't sending her money. They weren't giving her any help. They just abandoned her, just left her in the Congo to die. And then with me, what they did with me here that was left in the UK, they now connived and sent a man that was really, really old than me, a man, so he can come and abuse me, and then I will give him papers if they notice that I get pregnant.
So with did you report? I'm sorry, but this is so deep. Did you report to, did you go to the police? Did you get to the social?
They didn't want me to. They stopped me to do all of that. I was surrounded by them. Like, there was nowhere for me to run.
How old were you then?
I think I was about 16, 15.
Wow.
16, 15.
Wow.
So then, just imagine you are under their roof, so everything they say goes. You ain't got nowhere to run. You ain't got no one to speak to on your side. So what you're going to do? You will just have to defend yourself and stuff. But it came to a point where they were starving us, not allowing us eat the food that we wanted to eat. So it was hard for me. Then I didn't know that they were doing all these things to me. And then I felt pregnant after the abuse.
This man that was older man that was brought in to a 16-year-old.
Yeah, the wife connived
and slept with you.
Yeah.
And you got pregnant.
Yeah.
And what happened?
And they started to continue to abuse me, emotionally, financially, spiritually, and physically. They even started to abuse my princess. It was really hard that I had to take the decision when I found out that they were doing all these things to me. So what their plan was for me to get pregnant after the abuse, so that he can get papers in this country.
And then he got the papers?
No, I didn't allow him to get the papers, especially when I found out. I refused to sign any papers for him. He doesn't have any papers.
And so where is did you have the baby?
Yes.
You still have the baby?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And did you involve, so now you're an adult and all that has happened. When you were pregnant and going through that, were you able to speak to somebody? At least you could have.
I was talking to my friends in college.
Not the friends, an adult, like a social service.
No.
You still didn't get the chance to speak to anybody?
No, I still didn't get the chance. I still didn't get the chance to call the police. I didn't get the chance to speak to any professionals. I was living in a home that doesn't care about professionals, that are scared of the police. They don't like to hear 999. They don't want to have anything to do with no government. Like, that's the kind of home that I was brought up in. So they were dealing with their own things on their own. Even if it was that dangerous, they would deal with it and no one would know.
Okay, so now you're adults now. You were able to go to uni?
I was able to go to uni, but it was really hard because I dropped off twice. I had to run away from home. Me and my princess, I think it was around 2013-14.
So when you had her, how old were you?
I was not 18 yet though. I can't. Wow. I know that I wasn't 18 at the time. But it was a time where I saw that even whilst I was going to university, coming back home, I would see my baby really dirty and not looking good. And if I tried to complain, there'll be trouble in the house. So it came to a point, one of my friends in the church said to me, Naomi, you need to find a way to leave that house, because if you don't leave that house, she will end up killing you in the house one day. So I thought she was just joking and stuff. But then once she actually threatened me. The wife threatened me and said, one day I will just stab you, I'll just kill you and you will die. And she was standing like at the door, and you will die. And even if I go to prison, I don't really care. I will come out and you will rot 6 feet under, and I don't care. And I was like, wow. And ever since she said that, I took very seriously to, leave the house. But I didn't want to leave like letting them know that I'm leaving, because they would prevent me from leaving. They will lock the door and everything. It's just not gonna work. So I planned something within
Escape.
me. Yeah, I did a very serious escape. I threw like bin bags, so I put all my baby's important stuffs. I left everything that I had in the house, everything, most of my documents, everything, but I only brought my kids' stuffs that are most important, and then I packed it in a bin bag. She came in and saw me cleaning the room, and she thought, oh, your room looks clean, your room looks nice. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to clean and stuff, but she didn't know my plan. So and then during the night, because we were living in a flat, I took the bin bags and I threw it downstairs. Luckily, our neighbors, they saw me in the morning, so I said, please guys, can you call me the cab? And the girl called the cab for me, and the cab called, and she was just there letting me know, you know, at the door side, and she's like, yeah, come. So the minute I wanted to leave, because I've been asking for my passport, for my documents and my child's document, they were refusing to give me even my bank cards. As an adult as I was, a mother to somebody, they were still holding onto my documents. They were still holding onto my passport, my bank cards. They wouldn't allow me to hold it. I don't know what their fear was. So I was demanding for it nicely. It was just a battle. They refused to give it to me, but then luckily the nursery of my child, they were asking for the documents to keep it in it. So I told her earlier on to inform her husband to get the documents ready for me on a Wednesday so that I can take it to the nursery. They thought I was lying. And it came Wednesday, and I asked, okay, please, can I have the passports and stuff? She started accusing me, doing all these assumptions like, oh, I know you're trying to leave. You've been always wanting to leave. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. So the minute she said that, I said to her, can you stop accusing me? Stop accusing me, because what you're doing is not good. Stop accusing me. I just asked you for a simple document. I need to do it for my child. And they didn't listen. So her husband now was trying to understand me. And then he said to me, okay, calm down.
So you got the document.
I got the document. And then, boom, I left and never returned. But before I left, I took out everything that I had in my heart, what they were doing to me. I was questioning them. I said to them, can I ask you both the question? Why don't you allow me to communicate with my twin sister back home? Why have you hid such important information to me about my biological family? Why have you been maltreating us like this? Why? They didn't have any any answer to give me, and they started crying. The husband kneeled down and started saying, it's me, I was the one that brought you to the UK. One thing that I want to put across to someone out there who's invited family members to the UK, I want to advise you, even if you've brought your family members to the UK, you don't have any right to control their lives. Let them live their lives. You don't have any right to curse them, because you see the help that you've rendered to them to bring them here. It will be worthless. It will be in vain, because now you are now cursing them. It will not be for your own benefit. You know, bless them, but stop trying to control them and stuff, because otherwise you will lose your respect.
So now you have forgiven them.
I have forgiven
them. They're still
them.
alive. They might be watching.
Yeah, they might be watching.
And you've forgiven them. So after you were able to go to uni, you have your princess now, you're married now, and you've written, this is your 4th book.
Yeah, this is my 4th book.
Heritage, 7 years wait wasn't a waste. So you want to read this book, you want to get it. She's an angel. She's got a pregnant angel. I've never seen a pregnant angel. But what we want to say this afternoon to people, as you have said, that, families are controlling, whether it's their children, their biological children or not their biological children, and people going through abuse, and especially mental health. You've gone ahead and done a course in uni about mental health, and now you advocate for mental health. And I saw the mental health day you seriously are into it and you talk about it, what do you want to tell families out there? I know you've just said something. What do you want to tell, especially mothers out there, in terms of how they treat their children, whether it's a biological mom or adopted or
Okay, thank you for that question. What I want to say to African parents, mums, not just African parents, just parents in general, especially mothers, mental health is real. And I need you to understand that your children are going through a lot. When they're coming back home from school, they expect to be happy, to live at peace. So instead of adding on to their stress from school, reduce it. I want to advise every parent, to treat every child well, because what goes around comes back around. The same way you treat another, the same way they will treat you. The same way you treat other people's kids, the same way they will treat your children. So we need to be very careful with our actions. Even the Bible tells us to love one another. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. It is a commandment. First of all, start loving yourself, and then start loving your children and other people's children. I want to say that you shouldn't be using your children for your own benefit. I was being used by them for their own benefit. They were ashamed as church leaders that I was pregnant outside of wedlock, but they caused it. And so they tried to now give me another Nigerian guy so that I'll be engaged with him. But then I came to find out it was the same situation where they were trying to use me to give him papers again. So you trying to use your child for your own benefits, knowing that that thing that you're trying to do will destroy your child, that's not a good route to go. I would encourage parents, show your children the way of the Lord. The best gift that you can give to your child is Jesus Christ. The best gift that you can give to your child is a relationship with God. Because when the world is dealing with them, they will have Jesus to cry to. They will go back to God to cry to. You, the mother, may not be there anymore. The dad, you may not be there anymore. The family may abandon them. They may have nobody to speak for them. But when they have Jesus Christ, the only person that can save you. There's a scripture, Pastor, that was helping me during all those periods of my pains and stuff. Philippians chapter 4 verse 13, it says, I can do all things through Christ the Lord who strengthens me. I believe, and I strongly believe that you can do all things. If I was able to come out of my traumas victoriously, come out of the bullying, the physical abuse, the emotional abuse, if I was able to come out of it victoriously, I believe you can too. Like I always say, if your faith says yes to God, God can never say no to you, because when Omega wins, it is done. And the fact that you're able to believe in yourself, I want to encourage you to use your voice. Do not be afraid. Do not be ashamed of what you're going through right now. Listen, you keeping quiet about that situation, do you know how many destinies that you're blocking to be birthed? The minute I decided to speak up and use my voice, a lot of destinies were birthed, a lot of purposes, a lot of ministries, a lot of marriages were birthed, a lot of healing started to occur from so many people's lives the minute I started to speak up. It only takes one person and then everything can change.
Fantastic. It takes one person. It only takes one person. She could have, Evangelist now be praised, Kabasela could have stayed and died and gone, and you and I wouldn't be hearing her story today, but she gathered the courage and escaped. There's that movie. Maybe we have to have a movie, but then she escaped, and today she's a beautiful wife, mother. She gave her life to Christ. She's an evangelist. She preaches, a first lady, an advocate, award-winning, singing, praising, all the talents, all the things that is in her. Today we feel like we're in church. Sometimes, as we are wrapping up, sometimes a lot of people go through all these stuff, and their destiny is killed. And then we have some, like this amazing woman here, amazing lady, who said, no, I will rise up and thrive. Why don't you rise up and thrive? And be that person, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, that person that you're destined to be, so that through you, other doors and other destinies, other people's life will be saved. I hope you enjoyed this amazing conversation this afternoon. I know it was deep, but then I know we have also learned something. Thank you so much. Look at you today. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I see you going places, winning all the awards. The last time you were in Luton, receiving an award, you were on BBC and all that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And well done. So how is your twin?
My twin is very well. I think that's a story for another day.
Is she here now or is she still back home?
Okay, me and my husband especially, when I met my husband in 2015, we were planning to get married and stuff. He asked me my story. I told him everything, and I told him about my twin sister.
God bless him.
And yeah, and he's an activist, so he hates parents who like accuse kids who are witches, because they were accusing us that we were witches and stuff like that. So he hated that. So he was fighting to get, justice for those kids, and he now helped me to get my twin sister back to the UK. Her passports were expired, her documents, she didn't have no documents. So what he needed to do is to speak to people that he knew, hire people that he knew to get my sister here. My husband is like a second father to us here.
This is your husband. What do you expect?
Yeah, everything for me. My mom even said to him, listen, you are her husband, you are her father, you are everything. Listen, I'm entrusting you my child. And what I could say is that my husband did not only bring my sister back to the UK, he actually gave her into marriage as well, and took the traditional rights, sent it back to our family in the Congo, and they accepted it. And now my sister's married and's got a baby, and she's living happily.
So happy, it's a happy ending.
Yeah,
It's
one
a
day
happy
you will
ending.
hear from her. One day
It's a happy ending. So you can have your happy ending.
Of
and
course.
So now you found your biological mom,
Yes.
your biological family.
Yes.
And we're thankful Hobby's here in the studio as well with the baby. So maybe another day we will invite the whole family to come. So shout out to Hobby. Thank you so much for all that you do for Evangelist Naomi Praise Kabasela. Thank you so much for coming to share her story. Please go on. Where can we find you? Where can we find you?
Okay, you can find me on Instagram. So my Instagram handle is Naomi Praise _official. On Facebook it's Evangelist Naomi Praise Kabasele. On YouTube it's Naomi Praise. On Amazon it's Naomi Praise Kabasele. And we have our website, so it's www.mpcministries.org, where you will find us and our ministry, along with my husband, Dr. Leon Kabasele.
And all the things, the great things she's doing, and her amazing books as well. I hope you have learned something. Please, if you are in an abusive home, if you need help, please don't suffer in silence. Get help. Get help. Your mental health is so important to some of us at the other side. Your mental health, your life matters. If you need help, seek help. Speak to someone. Don't die and go and not fulfill your purpose in life. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you share this story with others, and always tune in to Omega TV UK. I'm your host, Nana Church. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye-bye.
Person is arrested and taken to a police station, or if the police invite you to the police station for a voluntary interview, you have a right to free independent legal advice. Aduku Solicitors is authorized to provide free independent legal advice at police stations in England and Wales. So anytime you're taken to the police station, remember to say that your solicitors are Adocus solicitors.
Are you in the UK and in need of immigration help? Do you require expert legal representation to regularise your stay or renew your existing leave to remain? Do you require advice or representation regarding a personal injury or criminal matter? If the answer is yes, then you do not need to look any further. Aduku Solicitors is here to provide you with all the expert legal advice and representation you require.
Be it immigration, criminal law, appeal against conviction or appeal against sentence, family law, personal injury, civil litigation, employment law or housing law. Aduku Solicitors is your trusted one-stop legal services provider with expert solicitors and caseworkers on standby to assist. Our police station emergency number is 07792 459 339. You can also call Aduku Solicitors on 0207 183 1479. You can locate Aduku Solicitors at 662 Old Kent Road, London, SE15 1JF.
Are you ready for the ultimate property and lifestyle experience? Get ready for the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo 2023, coming to 2 exciting locations. Join us in London on the 11th and 12th of November, where leading reputable real estate developers will be waiting to meet you face to face. Be inspired by industry experts as they provide thought-provoking panel discussions and live Q&A sessions. And finally, mark your calendars for the 16th and 17th of December when the expo lands in Accra, Ghana. Experience the vibrant lifestyle and rich culture of Ghana while exploring investment opportunities in the thriving real estate market. Our expo will also feature exhibitors ranging from banking and legal services to estate and property management. Get all the support and information you need under one roof. So whether you're looking to invest, visit or simply explore the world of real estate, the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo 2023 is the place to be. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Book your tickets now via Eventbrite for the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo 2023. Dream it, live it. You don't want to miss out.
My name is Kofi Adoku. I'm a principal solicitor at Adocus Solicitors. I am also a duty solicitor. Anytime a person is arrested and taken to a police station, or if the police invite you to the police station for a voluntary interview, you have a right to free independent legal advice. Adocus Solicitors is authorized to provide free independent legal advice at police stations in England and Wales. So anytime you're taken to the police station, remember to say that your solicitors are Adocus solicitors.
Are you in the UK and in need of immigration help? Do you require expert legal representation to regularise your stay or renew your existing leave to remain? Do you require advice or representation regarding a personal injury or criminal matter? If the answer is yes, then you do not need to look any further. Aduku Solicitors is here to provide you with all the expert legal advice and representation you require.
Be it immigration, criminal law, appeal against conviction or appeal against sentence, family law, personal injury, civil litigation, employment law or housing law. Aduku Solicitors is your trusted one-stop legal services provider with expert solicitors and caseworkers on standby to assist. Our police station emergency number is 07792 459 339. You can also call Aduku Solicitors on 0207 183 1479. You can locate Aduku Solicitors at 662 Old Kent Road, London, SE15 1JF.
Are you ready for the ultimate property and lifestyle experience? Get ready for the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo 2023, coming to 2 exciting locations. Join us in London on the 11th and 12th of November, where leading reputable real estate developers will be waiting to meet you face to face. Be inspired by industry experts as they provide thought-provoking